You're going to appreciate that when you listen to that. Okay, so Gynca is my organization, and this is very short and sweet, so let's get started. I did go along with their theme of their website and everything like that. They use teal a lot. Now, I really, with MailChimp, could not match the exact teal, but I did as close as I could. I also kept where they have all capital letters in their logo. I kept that throughout the titles as well. It is very minimalist. I'm not big into clutter, and so it is very minimalist. And I swear I didn't touch it.
You want to go back?
Yeah, I just swear I didn't touch it. Okay. So the first one's the blog, and I did it as far as my experience with Gynca throughout this course. So it is kind of specific to this class, which is a little different, but normally the blog would be something that would be targeted to people that have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer or gynecological cancers. So not necessarily those that use our services, but those that have it, just because they do provide such a wide variety of information there. So some obstacles, I wanted to kind of keep around the 300 minimum count. I did go over, but just trying to cut it down was very hard for me because it was such a great organization to work for or work with. The goal in this particular blog was to sum up my experience, but with other blogs there can be many goals depending on this particular piece. So the profile feature, I used the one I had written previously. The target audience is those diagnosed once again with gynecological cancer. Once again, we don't have to be serving them, they just have to want more information. The obstacles, once again, was staying within the word count. Mary is who I did mine on, and she's an amazing woman, so you could talk all day about her, but I won't, don't worry. The goal is to provide insight and hope to those who have been diagnosed with the disorder. There are some things, it talks about the trouble she's faced with it and how she's overcome them. She also provides tips to those that do get diagnosed, and some useful, people don't think about the emotional aspect, and she kind of goes into that. And then they do have professional photos, which is really great. So this I just pulled straight from their website. So the special event I did was Teal to Heal. That's one of their biggest events, and they just had it in September because that is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. They once again had some really great photos that I could just pop in there, so that was really great. Target audience, I wanted to do sponsors, donors, and volunteers, as well as those who did not attend the event. So obstacles was trying to make this past event exciting again to the readers, not only to those who did attend to kind of recap it, because they're going to want to look to see pictures and if there's anything about them in it, but to those who didn't attend, how did I make that exciting for them? So I tried to pick some highlights that would intrigue them and make them think, hey, I want to do that next year. So goal was to show gratitude, obviously, to the sponsors, donors, and volunteers who helped make it a success. There were some parts in there where I used specific names, but I couldn't use a whole bunch because there were just so many, so I chose the major key players in it. And obviously to entice others to attend next year, there's even the date of next year just so they can get thinking about, hey, this is a good event. They did some fun things, I want to do it next year. So that was another one of the goals besides showing gratitude. Okay. And organizational news, this was their strategic planning for 2016, which they've already gotten, which they will get underway, January, I believe, 14th. And so here the main target audience is sponsors and donors. It does go into there are 3 focus areas for 2016. And because of this, it kind of shows where their funds that they're providing will go to and what it will kind of make a difference. So that's why the target audience is sponsors and donors. The obstacles, I still wanted to make it pertinent information for someone who was reading it just as someone who wasn't a sponsor or donor, so I still tried to include things that would be pertinent to them, like they want to know that outreach is going to be a big deal next year. They want to know that education is going to be a big deal, as well as the third, which is sustainability and growth for the organization. So the goal, once again, show where the organization is going in 2016. Also give them an idea of what their funds are being used for. I didn't go into specifics on that, but you can kind of see it with the 3 focus areas. So, upcoming event, I chose the Go Girl Run. It's the first time they've ever done Go Girl, and it's in Springfield, and the run has taken place before, but they are sponsoring it this year. Target audience is everybody, because we want as many people as possible to either sign up, sponsor, or volunteer at the event. And I did use my volunteer button. It's not on there, but I did choose volunteer call to action was volunteers for this, as well as the coupon was part of this. If they click the link to sign up, they got 10% off their registration. So, obstacles. I actually did this Go Girl run. I did an assignment on it for the class, so making it different from that original assignment was kind of tricky, while still including all of the actual details that I needed to get people to the event. So, goal, once again, get people to sign up for the event. The other part of the goal is the little volunteer button, which is to get people registered to volunteer, and we were specific, it says they need 50 volunteers. So that was that, I believe. Now it won't even recognize me. And so that's really what I did. Like I said, I kept it in line with the actual website. They're clean lines. I did struggle with MailChimp. I've never used it before, and I found it kind of limiting. I wanted to make like thinner columns on the sides, and I could not figure out how, and it probably took me a good 30 minutes to send you the email tonight because I couldn't figure out how to add a sponsor. So I might try a different one next time, but that was it.
Questions for Jenna?